Good morning, traders. It's February 26th, and it is a wild one today. The ES has been on the move, and we took a 49-tick winner. 49-tick winner. Now, we had a first target in there, too, for 27 ticks. But the 49-tick winner is what I want to show you. It was all based on volume profile. That's coming up. All right, guys, I want to go over this 49-tick winner that I had this morning on the ES. It took some patience. Things were a bit wild early in the morning. The ES was super thin. It looked like oil, basically. Normally, there's a couple hundred contracts sitting at every price point at least, and like in oil there's usually about 50. Well, that's what the ES looked like today. There was like 50 contracts sitting at every price point, and that's why it was moving so crazy. So I had to wait for it to slow down a little bit before I felt comfortable getting in it. So let's get straight to the trade. It's a quick one. I'm going to go back to the beginning here and show you basically what I was looking at. So I didn't find this trend line until after the fact. You know, in hindsight, that was a pretty obvious one. I could have taken this big, fast move up early, but like I said, I was confused with the way the volume was looking, and so I was taking my time. Now, on the volume profile, not to be confused with the volume I was looking at in the dome, okay? So this is the volume profile over here to the right. This is a composite of 7 days, and when you get these, I call these like a volume shelf. If you look at this right here, you can see that there's a lot more volume right here, and then there's a sudden drop off, okay? Well, that was even more dramatic earlier in the day before some of this volume filled in. There was just hardly anything up in this area because price had not been tracking around up there. And so when price was coming here, I was a little concerned that it would maybe die out at this shelf like it had back here at 7:40 in the morning. And then it had a little bounce at 8:34 again off that area. So I was a bit concerned about that. But if I had seen the trend line working up and felt good about taking a long, or in this case, kind of a breakout trade. Well, it's not kind of a breakout trade. It's definitely a breakout trade. And so what happened was after we broke through that, what I call the volume shelf, and then there was no volume to slow, or no volume to slow it down, it just moved. It just moved and moved and moved. And I passed by a huge trade there. Now it gets about to the top of the trend line. It breaks through the top and starts working its way back. There were trades, I suppose, I could have taken in here, but I like waiting for the volume profile to set up in a way that I want to see it set up before I take a trade. So I patiently waited. It came back, and I was expecting it to bounce off the shelf, and it did. And then, but I wasn't real trusting. This whole day, I was not trusting of anything. And then it kind of broke through the shelf a little bit, but then it started moving back up, came back, hit that shelf, and then took off. That's when I took my trade. So I entered at 31.52. All right. And then my first target was 31.60.50. That's almost 8 full points. That's 7 points plus 3 ticks that I got on the first target. Okay. And then after that, we made it all the way up to 31.65, which is 12 full points plus a tick. Okay. So that's 49 ticks on the runner. All right. It was a big day. Unfortunately, I had taken some bad trades in treasuries early in the morning before the open. Couldn't read the treasuries at all. I shouldn't have been trading them. And so let that be a lesson to you. So I ended up positive on the day, luckily. But with this massive trade, I only ended up like 150 because I was down so big in treasuries early. So let that be a lesson when you are confused about what's going on. Do not trade. But this is cool. I just wanted to show you mainly the volume profile. And then if you're wondering, like, well, you could have taken it back here at 902, right? Well, we're still inside this potential trend line back at 902. And I've always got my trusty book map to back me up, okay? And so let's go back to the 902 area and then the 912 area. And this is kind of the key of when I decided to finally take the trade. Let's bring this in here. All right, so at 902, and bookmap here, these highlighted areas are highlighting where the most traders were waiting in the dome. Okay, so they were waiting, well, not in the dome, but it's the order book. You see it in the dome. So it's highlighting where the traders were waiting in the order book. And they had busted through multiple lines of heavy volume. And at 902, there was not really any heavy volume in there to support the trade. Now, there doesn't have to be trade. You know, the price can just start moving when the market orders start pushing it. You know, you don't have to have a heavy band of volume in there. But for this situation, I was really looking at it because this was a reversal play for the most part because of the big down move that had just happened. And so then if you look over here at 907, this is 907, the part that I'm circling right here. There's this huge band of liquidity down here that I thought might support it, and it certainly did. And then when it came back, like I said, I wasn't trusting of much today, so I'm just waiting on my heels. And then when it came back and bounced off the second band, the band actually moved up some price. So people were getting a little more aggressive on buying. It moved up, and when price bounced and started moving up off that, that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take it. If I lose, I lose. But I knew that if I was winning, I had to take a major target because of the way the price was moving, and that's how we ended up with the 49 tick trade. So it was kind of an exciting day. Wish I had only taken that trade and not the early treasury trades, but that's the way it goes. All right, guys, that's it for me. Peace out.